Here's another quick media training tip from Comsteria. I want you to think about how sometimes we fall into this trap, maybe when you're giving an interview to a journalist, of falling into a lie. And if a journalist knows that you're lying, you're in a weak position because they then make it their business to try and get in between you and that lie and pull the truth out of you or make you feel as awkward as possible because you're lying. And one of the ones that I see coming up all the time is maybe where there's an investigation taking place, there's an inquiry taking place, someone asks a politician a question about it, and they say, I can't speak about that, or it would be inappropriate for me to comment. And the problem with that is, well, first of all, I can't speak about it is not true. You could. What you mean is you don't want to. Now, journalists know that, and so you're immediately in a defensive situation, and they're going to come back at you and say, well, you could speak about it, and they'll ask again and again and start squeezing you a little bit. And the audience at home all think the same. Well, you could speak about it, it's just you don't want to, or you've been told not to. You don't want the consequences that would come if you were to speak about it, but you plainly could. So I would always encourage clients just to go with the truth, right? This idea of telling the truth sets you free. All of this is much easier if you just tell the truth. And the truth in that instance is, I'm not going to speak about this. And if you say that, I'm not going to answer that, I'm not going to speak about this today, just now, then there's nowhere for the journalist to go. You're not going to change your mind. There's no point them asking you again. You're quite happy to stand there and say, I'm not going to speak about this. Then that's it. You're safe. You're not lying. You're not defensive. You're merely asserting a fact. You're in a strong position. Now, they might not like it. The viewers at home might not like it either. But at least you're being real and honest, and they're less likely to come back at you. I'm not going to speak about that today. Now, maybe you can offer when the inquiry's complete, when the investigation's complete, when I've got more information, when I'm ready to talk about it, I'll come back here and I'll talk about it all day. But I'm not going to speak about that just now, is a perfectly legitimate answer. And that candor, that honesty, makes you look a lot better than everybody else who's saying, I can't speak about it. And of course, well, they're not really telling the truth, are they? So we understand that you don't want to give everything up. You don't want to share all that detail. You may well have been told by HR or finance or the legal team, for God's sake, if you want to remain chief executive, don't tell them X, Y, and Z. You don't need to. But be honest about what you're doing or what you're not doing and why. I'm not going to speak about that today. And that's it. So for more tips and advice and our one-to-one sessions or online sessions, everything around media training and presentation skills training, helping you, I suppose, walk that tightrope with a bit of confidence. Walking that tightrope if you're in politics or you're a senior person in business where you've got, the needs and wants and rules and obligations of the organization versus the staff, the supporters, the members, the audience, the customers, or these other people that you need to keep on side as well. Running an organization, being a high-profile sports person or a musician or a business person or in politics, it can be a very demanding, lonely, isolating place where you never really get the credit you deserve. And at Comsteria, when you communicate, we want to help you do it from a position of power, where you get some of that agency back, you feel good about what you're doing, and I suppose you get as close as you can to somehow keeping everybody happy, but also looking after yourself. So we'd love to work with you. You can look at us up at comsteria.co.uk or just message us here anytime.